Moms, what moment made you say I raised a villain? My 7-year-old Maya is obsessed with candy. Our neighbor Mrs. Castellano, this sweet 80-year-old lady, gives out full-size candy bars to kids she thinks are struggling. Torn clothes, sad faces, that kind of thing. Maya saw her do this once with a kid from down the street who was genuinely having a rough time. Maya figured this out real quick. 3 weeks ago, I noticed she'd been coming home from school looking like she'd been rolling around in dirt. Ripped shirts, messy hair, the works. I kept asking what happened and she'd shrug. Playground stuff, Mom. At first, I was worried. Maybe she was being bullied? Maybe some kid was pushing her around? I even called her teacher, who said Emma seemed fine at school. Happy, social, no issues. But every single day, she'd come home looking like a tiny disaster. Then I started finding candy wrappers everywhere. Way too many for a kid who gets one piece after dinner. Hidden in her backpack, stuffed between couch cushions, crumpled up in her jacket pockets. I'm talking high-end stuff too, not the cheap Halloween candy. Full-size Snickers, Kit Kats, Twix bars. I sat her down multiple times asking where all this candy was coming from. Friends share, she'd say, wide-eyed and innocent. Kids bring extra lunch money and get candy from the vending machine. But something felt off. The quantity was insane, and Maya's never been the type to have a ton of friends willing to share expensive treats. She's sweet, but let's be real, 7-year-olds are selfish with their candy. So yesterday, I decided to follow her after school. I felt like a creep, honestly, lurking behind cars and watching my own kid. But I needed to know what was going on. I watched her walk halfway home and suddenly duck behind our fence. She pulls out this little backpack I'd never seen before and starts completely transforming herself. She messes up her hair, rubs dirt from our garden on her face and clothes. And then, I swear this part made my stomach drop. She actually rips a hole in her jacket with her fingernails. The level of premeditation was terrifying. Then she walks up to Mrs. Chen's door and starts fake crying. Not just sniffling, full-on sobbing, shoulders shaking, the whole performance. I'm standing there behind a tree, watching this tiny human put on an Oscar-worthy performance about how she's hungry and forgot her lunch. And Mrs. Rodriguez is melting, handing over these king-size Snickers bars. The woman is actually tearing up, stroking Maya's hair, telling her everything will be okay. My heart was breaking, and my blood was boiling at the same time. Mrs. Rodriguez lost her husband last year. She's lonely, she loves kids, and here's my daughter completely manipulating her kindness. But also, where did Maya learn to be this calculating? This wasn't some spur-of-the-moment kid logic. This was planned, strategic emotional manipulation. I felt sick, like physically nauseous watching it happen. When I got home, I went straight to Maya's room and found her stash. 47 full-size candy bars hidden under her bed, organized by type like a candy warehouse. Snickers in one pile, Kit Kats in another, everything sorted and counted. There was even a little notebook where she'd been tracking her visits, like some kind of tiny accountant. I sat there staring at this hoard, feeling like I'd discovered my sweet baby was actually some kind of sociopath. How long had this been going on? What other lies had she been telling? What kind of mother was I that I didn't notice my 7-year-old running a con game on our elderly neighbor? When Maya walked in and saw me sitting there with her candy empire spread out on the floor, she didn't even look surprised. Just kind of sighed, like she'd been caught doing something mildly annoying instead of something that would make most adults question their life choices. I confronted her and she goes, Mrs. Castellano likes helping kids, and I like candy. It's a win-win, Mom. No guilt, no shame, just pure 7-year-old business logic. She's been doing this for 3 weeks. Mrs. Castellano spent over $100 on my perfectly fed kid acting like a homeless orphan. Did I ground her? Yes. Do I respect the hustle? Also, yes.